Welcome to Dixon Line of Scrimmage. I'm Johnathon Holder. I'm here with Cole Draughn, Tyler Darnell. We're right in the middle of the NBA playoffs, right in the middle of the first round. Guys, what in the world's going on with the Pacers right now?
They are struggling. One seed, it looks like, to me right now, the NBA playoffs look like they're flipped upside down. And it's like all the bottom seeds are playing like they're the top seeds right now. I don't know what's going on with the Pacers, though.
Indiana's not playing any defense, pure and simple.
Which that don't hurt my feelings. So I'm not a big Pacers fan, so.
Well, you got to look at it too. I mean, this Frank Vogel's got to get it done. I mean, they're losing to the Hawks right now. They're down 2-1, game 4 in process. I mean, they went to the Eastern Conference Final, took the Heat all the way to Game 7 last year. I think he's got to at least get back to the finals and
To keep his job?
I think he's got to make it to Game 6 or Game 7. They're not going to settle for a first round or a second round.
Yeah, if they get beat in the first round, he may be done. I'd say he is done.
They've had reports out all week.
Well, yeah, I mean, his seat's getting hot.
It's getting hot, yeah.
But yeah, I'm like you. I think he probably need. If they win the first round, he might be okay if he goes 6-7 games in the second round. But I think they got to at least make the finals.
Let's face it, the Hawks aren't very good. I mean, they're really not.
They're not.
They're terrible.
Well, they struggled to even get in the playoffs, didn't they? Yeah, terrible. But I mean, yeah, they struggled to even get in the playoffs, and here they're. I mean, really taking it to the Pacers.
How many times does a 8 seed beat a 1 seed?
I remember one time when Dikembe Mutombo played for, I think it was Denver back then, and they beat Seattle Supersonics. I remember that, but I don't know as far as stats, as far as how many times, but that's the only time that I remember it happening. I'm sure it might have happened one other time or something, but.
There's been a lot of talk about maybe.
That was also a best of 5 series.
Well, that makes it a little bit easier. About benching Hibbert. Should Hibbert be on the floor?
He's not a good matchup against the Hawks right now, but I really don't know. He's just kind of big and
his size demands that he be on the court.
He's what, 7'1", 2"?
I mean, look, Pacers aren't going to him on offensive end. They're just not going to him.
I've seen him look unstoppable before, but in this series he's played.
This guy for the Hawks should not even be able to play with him.
No. I mean, he's a head taller than that guy right now.
I mean, let's look ahead. Let's look ahead to who they would play next. Okay, I mean, they're going to play the winner of Chicago and Washington. Those two teams are both head and shoulders better than the Hawks.
Oh, yeah.
If they're struggling with the Hawks right now, they're going to struggle next round. I mean, and speaking of that series, I mean, what about Nene?
He trying to read his mind. Read Butler's mind last night.
Forehead to forehead, right?
Yeah. He just gave him a little grab.
MMA.
Yeah, it's I'm thinking, well, that series has been pretty fun to watch. I mean, those teams seem to be pretty equal to me. Bradley Beal, he's been shooting the lights out. Wall just kind of gets. I mean, he can get to the rim if he wants to. If they force Wall to have to shoot, I mean, that's where he's going to struggle. Because yeah, he played at Kentucky. I'm a big Kentucky fan, but his jump shooting ain't the greatest in the world. But yeah,
if he doesn't act like that last night, this series is over. It's over. I mean, they don't lose last night.
Well, yeah, what 8.5 minutes to go in the game?
I mean, look, I'm a Duke fan. Dunleavy come up big down the stretch, but Dunleavy
35 points.
It's a huge point if Nene stays in the game.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
the Wizards lead that series 2-1. Chicago wins last night. I don't know. I like Chicago going into the series, but I'm starting to think the Wizards do win this one.
I really think the Wizards. I think they will. I mean, if Bill and Wall can have their way with the guards, I think, and I mean, Nene, whatever you pronounce it or whatever. I mean, if he gets hot up there, I mean, he can shoot that little mid-range jumper, but he's got to be smart to stay on the floor.
Can you see the Wizards in the Eastern Conference Finals?
Have they ever made it there?
I don't know. I mean,
maybe
back
Bullets.
on the Bullets. Maybe.
Bullets, that's right.
Yeah, I think they
Bullets were pretty good back then. Yeah.
Maybe early '80s, looked like they were in it.
Look, I mean, the Pacers have been struggling for a while. I mean, this series against Atlanta too. I mean, looking forward to the Wizards and Bulls. I mean, the Wizards and Bulls. I mean, they're going to stand a good chance, even if the Pacers do make it. I mean, they've just struggled so much.
Honestly, when I look at the Bulls, I'm just kind of like,
How are Tim Nolan and think how much you dislike him?
Well, yeah, Well, yeah, but I'm kind of thinking.
I mean,
I don't. To me, I look at Kirk Heinrich and I'm like, okay, I just don't think he's that good. And I don't know. Just something when I look at the Bulls, I'm just like, they play hard and they're here for a reason. They've got the 5 seed or 4 seed, whatever.
The Bulls have 2 Dookies on the team, and I can't stand them because of Joakim Noah. Okay, all right. I can't pull for him. Can't do it.
What? Speaking of Boozer, he's not really had a good series, has he?
He's old. He's old. I mean, look.
Hey, you always count on him to hit that little 15-footer or whatever, and I mean, he got money with that for years throughout his career, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a big Bulls fan.
The defending champion, Miami Heat, they're up 2-0 over the Bobcats. Game 3 tonight. Do you see the Bobcats even winning again?
That series is over.
It's over.
That series is over when the Bobcats even made the playoffs.
Speaking of which, I know you're Kentucky. I'm not jabbing here, but have you seen Kid Gilchrist shoot his free throws?
He can't. He never can.
He's jumping.
Yeah.
He's jumping on his free throws.
He can't. That was one of my biggest things with him leaving Kentucky. I thought he needed to work on his jump shot. And it's kind of the same way even this year with like Julius Randle leaving. But I don't want to get into all that. But he can get to the rim if he gets to the rim. I mean, he can throw it down, but he struggles with the shot.
LeBron's just under 30 points a game. He's at 29.5. And he's shooting 69%. I mean,
let's just be honest. LeBron can.
We can move on. Then,
yeah. I would like to make one point. LeBron's going to be LeBron, but I think the most impressive thing so far in the playoffs regarding the Heat is the play of Dwayne Wade. If Dwayne Wade plays like he's been playing, he's playing like he's not hurt. He's explosive. I think that's what makes me think the Heat might have a chance to three-peat. What do you guys think?
Yeah, well, in order for the Heat to three-peat, Wade's got to play. I mean, LeBron's going to be LeBron. He's still kind of in his prime. Wade, he kind of struggled. It seems like injuries over really all through their run over the last 3 years, whether it's been a knee or whatever. But and to me, in my opinion, in order for the Heat to win it again, I mean, Wade's got to play. I mean, and play well.
I'll take it a step further. Out of both championships the Heat's won, especially in the finals, and maybe even in Eastern Conference Finals, I'd have to go back and look. The Heat have relied on some role players.
Mike Miller.
Who's not there right now?
Mike Miller.
Where's he at?
Memphis.
Who has the lead in that series?
Memphis.
Just saying, that man can play.
Yeah, I think, the Bobcats series. I mean, they're young, and Kemba, I think Kemba's played fairly well. I know he struggled shooting the other night, but he can get creative on shot to be as small as he is, but they're still a few years off, in my opinion, a couple more players from, really being able to do anything.
The Memphis Grizzlies are leading the Thunder 2-1. Thunder, it was either going to be them or the Spurs for me to make it to the NBA Finals, but I don't know if the Thunder survived this series against Memphis.
Do either one of them survive? I mean, you got to think San Antonio's tied, too.
And they got thrashed. But with me, really, this series is just making me scratch my head. There's no way I thought that Memphis would even have a chance against Oklahoma, but really, with Tony Allen, Durant likes to play up top, at the top of the key, and Allen's pretty much, every time he catches a right in his face, and he's not allowing him to get a shot off. And, Durant's not really had a good series, and Memphis is, Zach Randolph, he's abusing Kendrick Perkins down there, and he's pretty much doing whatever, but.
I think Memphis has to win this game tonight. They have to. You let Thunder hang around, and they tied up 2-2. They regain home court advantage. I see them going back winning. I think it goes 7. I do. I think it goes 7. I actually see the Thunder coming back with this, but if the Grizzlies want to win this series, they got to win tonight.
Yeah, I'm like you. I think tonight's it's not. I don't guess you call it a must-win per se, but I guess it kind of is a must-win for them. I think in order for them to have a legit shot, they can't really go back to Oklahoma tied with this.
And Durant's leading. Him and Westbrook scored 30 points each the other night. It each took them 30 shots. That can't happen.
Yeah, to me, that's their problem. Him and Westbrook both want the spotlight.
Not together, each.
Yeah, but Durant needs to be the go-to guy. Westbrook wants to be the go-to guy, and I think that's, to me, that it's hard for them to play together.
Under 5 minutes, most clutch player has been in the playoffs. So far, I know we only played 3 games. The last 5 minutes, Kevin Durant scored 23 points in less than 5 minutes. That's pretty close. You got to have somebody to score them.
To me, for the Thunder to win, they've got to go to Durant. Westbrook is just going to have to play point guard role and get it to Durant and not try to take it himself.
We touched on it a little bit. 1 seed Spurs against the Mavericks. They're tied right now. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I've watched a lot of the playoffs so far this year. I haven't watched a minute of this series. And I don't even know if I've watched a minute of San Antonio this whole season.
It's San Antonio.
Yeah, they're just old. They win, but they're just old. I mean,
they don't do it flashy. I mean, it's just.
Yeah.
They get it done every year, though, and it's pretty impressive.
Well, yeah, I mean, they got a veteran group of guys. I mean, and they got some with, I can't think, Leonard, I can't think of his name.
Leonard,
yeah, I mean, to me, last year in the playoffs, the run that he had in the playoffs, I thought what helped San Antonio basically they choked it away in Miami last year, but I thought his run helped them a lot, but I don't know. I'm like, yeah, I'm not sure I've even watched a minute of this series, really.
I think the Spurs probably win the series. I mean, they lost a game at home, but let's be honest, they probably win the series.
Yeah, they probably do. I think they just kind of turn up when they have to.
Yeah.
The series I think is the most interesting in the playoffs is the battle out in L.A. Clippers, Warriors. A lot of youth on both teams, 2 rising teams. What's your guys' take on this series so far?
I think ultimately I think the Clippers will end up winning out, but I don't know. I mean, it's just head to head. I mean, with Steph Curry, the way he can shoot it, I mean, you can't ever count them out. But I feel like the Clippers maybe just have a little advantage in that one. But
I think the Clippers win. Too much Blake Griffin, too much Chris Paul. Clippers better win.
I think Chris Paul is going to be the difference maker in that one. I think he has to control the game, and that's the series in general.
Rockets Trailblazers.
This has been my most entertaining series. I mean, it has been.
A lot of points scored.
I love Damian Lillard. Love that guy. That guy can flat out. You see that shot he made last night? It was like a circus shot. Nothing but net.
Afraid I didn't.
He's a good player. Look, of course, didn't he win Rookie of the Year last year? Didn't he end up winning it?
I can't recall.
No.
I know. The kid from Houston, Troy Daniels.
Yeah.
Big shot last night.
D-League got biggest majority of the year, and he comes out and hits a huge 3.
Look, that saved the Rockets.
No, that saved them.
They lose that game, it's over. They go down 3-0. I like the Trailblazers. Rip City.
I would have picked probably Houston at the start of this series, but I mean, what Aldridge? I mean, I don't know how many he ended up with last night, but I know he had 46 and 43 in the first 2 games.
He's leading playoffs and scoring. I mean, he's dangerous.
I mean, and it's not like he's just hitting layups. I mean, he's hitting 15-footers with a hand in his face.
Look, I love the fact that Dwight Howard's getting what's coming to him. I love it.
No, Dwight Howard, he had a pretty good game too, but I don't know. I mean, for me, I'm kind of, I guess, when you listen to Charles Barkley, he's kind of talking about they go as Harden goes. And, I mean, I think, which James Harden didn't shoot well in the first 2 games. Last night, I think he ended up with maybe 35 or something like that. But, I mean, I think they're going to have to rely on him. And Dwight just kind of be Dwight down low.
Well, we didn't even talk about Brooklyn and Toronto. Nobody cares about basketball in Toronto.
Well,
Rob Ford, maybe.
Rob Ford.
He's at the game. Did you see about the game? The mayor up there? What
Toronto.
Buckle is he?
I'll be honest with you.
What about
when I heard Toronto was a 3 seed? I mean, look, basketball is one of those things, especially with NBA. You know, when it gets down the stretch, you start really paying attention. When I really realized that Toronto was 3 seed, I've seen them play, but 3 seed, wow. Brooklyn's old too, and they're making them look pretty
Brooklyn's
bad.
got that playoff experience with Garnett and Pierce.
They are old, and what about the paper in Toronto calling them the real dinosaurs?
Yeah.
That probably...
They've come out of extinction, that's for sure.
That's a series, I think Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett, I think they'll end up pulling it out. They just have way too much experience. Raptors haven't been here in a while. That's what I like about the playoffs. I like seeing the new blood, Portland Trailblazers, Toronto Raptors, these teams that haven't been in the playoffs in a while. It's fun to watch. Memphis Grizzlies, which they've been there, I guess, the past couple of years. But
Wizards too.
Yeah, you kind of want to see your younger players come up. These guys who you've watched in college over the last few years, who's kind of they've been in the league for a couple of years and they've actually led their team to the playoffs, but they're not quite good enough to go all the way. But then you've got your teams that's been there with your LeBrons and your Durants and Pierce and them. But I don't know. To me, it's just cool. The guys who are supposed to do good, I just love seeing them do good. You just want to see them play big. You want LeBron. You want him to come out and score 40. You want to see Durant score 40. You just want to see them be clutch.
we're right in the middle of the playoffs, chaos everywhere. If you had to pick now, who do you got in the finals?
I got the Thunder and Heat.
Even though the Thunder's in trouble, you got the Thunder and Heat.
Oh, the Thunder in trouble. Look, I got Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook. They're going to get it together. I got the Thunder and Heat.
I think the Thunder's going to make it. I'm not sold on the Heat quite yet, but I don't know who can beat them, I guess. I just feel like they're kind of going through the motions and they only play when they have to. And sometimes, I mean, they about got them last year in the finals. I just feel like they kind of play when their backs are up against the wall because, to me, they're the most talented team. But I'll probably have to go with you, Thunder and Heat. I guess that's probably who
I'm going to go with the Heat and the Clippers. Especially if Atlanta can win this game today and they go up 3-1, I think they'll win the series. I think the only thing stopping the Heat from getting to the finals would be the Pacers, just because they took them 7 games last year and they got the youth. It'd be if it ends up Indiana and the Heat in the Eastern Conference Finals, Indiana's going to try to prove that they are the better team. But like I said, if they get defeated, and I think the Heat's going straight to the NBA Finals. I like the way the Clippers are playing. Thunder's in trouble. Spurs, I mean, they're going to do what they do, but that's who I like. I like the Heat and the Clippers.
Yeah, I think if Thunder can get out of the series, they'll get their act together. I'm just not sure right now with Memphis that's a good matchup for them. But I don't know, the Clippers, I mean, they're definitely talented enough to. I just don't know if they're consistent enough to, if they can grind it out over the course of 3 series to get to the finals. But I guess only time will tell.
It's been one of the more fun first rounds in the NBA playoffs that I can remember in a long time.
Well, there's already been 3 or 4 overtime games.
Exactly. A lot of home teams losing, a lot of road wins. Just sit back and enjoy it. This is Johnathon Holder. I'm here with Cole Draughn and Tyler Darnell. We'll see you next time.